Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with another page in my 2021 Summer of Fun 6x8 flipbook from Simple Stories. And I'm actually using an older Simple Stories line called, Happy Trails? Yes, Happy Trails, because it had s'mores in it, so I thought it would be perfect. And today I'm going to be building a 6x8 layout. It's actually 6x8.5 because these page protectors are a little bit taller than 6x8. 6x8 layout with a coordinating 2 4x6 pocket page for these photos. So you can see that I am creating the base for my 6x8 layout, and I thought it would be fun to do some paper tearing and some layering for this page. And I'm actually going to carry over the paper tearing and layering to the pocket page side as well to make everything sort of coordinate and go together well. So I have some 4x6 cards that I have cut down from the paper packs, and I also have the offcuts of and off tears of some of the papers that I've already torn. So I'm trying to decide what combination of these papers will work out perfectly together. So I decided to use this beautiful floral at the top with the yellow paper, and then I'm going to take the blue, I guess, star paper. It's not really stars, they're dots, but they resemble stars. I'm going to use the blue star paper down here on this brown card, and I'm going to back it with this orange too to bring some of that orange across, and also to mitigate some of that dark brown. I do like the wood grain, but it was a little bit dark for this layout, so I'm going to add in some color with this blue and orange. The blue is dark too, but for some reason for me it didn't read as overwhelming as the wood grain did. Okay, so now I've got my torn paper all settled down, and I decided I was going to bust out I have some embellishments and chipboard from the collection that I've already pulled out. And then I decided that I'm going to use the stamps from the collection as well, because there are more sentiments in the stamps that aren't really in the die cuts and stickers. So I'm going to pull out the stamps, and I'm going to use the fire that's in the totally lit, and I'm going to make one die cut out of those two, and also the everything is s'more fun with you with a little s'more as well. So I'm going to make two sort of vertical rectangular shapes, I guess. Two rectangular die cuts with these stamps, rather than trying to cut around them, like fussy cut around them. I'm just going to make them rectangular and vertical so that I can turn them into banners. So here's the first one, everything is s'more fun with you, and then I'm going to take the campfire and the it's lit and create another one. Then I will cut them both out fairly close to the sentiment so that I can get them as small as possible, since I am only working with a 6x4 space here. So I want to make sure that they're not overwhelmingly large, and they are still large enough when I'm done that they need to I need to reprint my photos, which is fine, because honestly I just sort of batch printed these photos and I didn't really love the way that they came out anyway. So I'm going to reprint my photos smaller, and I'm actually going to print them better too. I'm going to do some photo editing and make them a little less ugly. Sometimes I get caught up in the moment taking the photos. I don't really stop and assess whether or not they're the best photos they could be. I'm sure we can all relate. Most of us are not professional photographers, so we take what we can get and then we work with what we've got, right? So I'm going to back this totally lit with the yellow paper, and that's going to bring the yellow down to this card as well. I'm kind of just trying to make sure that I am paying attention to the amount of colors represented on each card, just so that there is a balance between all of the colors and the patterns that I have chosen to work with. The only thing that doesn't get repeated across the page is that wood grain. I didn't use it anywhere else, but it gets mostly covered up, so it's not a big deal. I'm going to put down these die cuts and chipboard pieces before I reprint my photos. Decided to back this in yellow to bring the yellow over to the other side as well. I decided to make this the star of the show because honestly it was the best photo, and so I decided it would make the best impact for the layout itself. I love this little marshmallow roasting guy. He does bear a vague resemblance to my husband, so of course it was perfect to include him on there. Hung the lanterns at the top just for fun. I'm going to add a lantern on this little card as well, or one of these cards to make it work. Then, I printed my photos just slightly, or this photo's just slightly smaller than 3x4, so I'm going to use this card to mat it so that I can bring some of this teal from the other side over. And then I'm actually going to keep really straight lines on both sides of, or both of these cards. I don't know why. Sometimes I will tilt my photos and tilt my embellishments and things like that so that they're a little bit cockeyed. And sometimes I like really straight lines, and I felt like with this one, the really straight lines worked well. I'm going to move this over, switch sides, because I felt like I wanted the tab and the word bit to be on this side, and so I didn't want all of the words to be on the same side. So now I need something up here in this corner because I have that weird little bit of the photo and it was not making me happy. So I decided to pull in the lantern sticker to match the lanterns on the other side. Perfect. And mosquitoes, because one thing about East Tennessee is the mosquitoes are everywhere and they are giant. So we're just going to put mosquitoes on there as like you would enamel dots. So this is the last card that I need to build. And so I'm going to move this over so that it's the opposite side of the other matching banner. I wanted to include all 3 photos, but I just could not make them all fit in a way that did not look cluttered. So poor Abby was a little bit blurry, so she got deleted. Plus, the other 2 photos had Finn and I in them, and we are not anywhere else on the spread, so humans won out over the poor pupper, unfortunately. So I'm going to put these down very straight and linear, just like I did the other ones. Perfect, maybe. These photos are just a little bit smaller than maybe would have fit a little bit better over there. We have lots and lots of guitars, and I'm sure somebody brought a guitar out to the campfire. I know we were listening to music, so I decided a guitar was appropriate. And I'm going to add this Love You S'more. Perfect. That offsetting the 2 photos made the gap between them a little less obvious and made me a little happier. But then I am just about done with this spread. So if you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed, and I'd love to see you over there as well. All right, thank you.